Filter here. In my award winning video about the self sabotage of sci fi movies and comic books, I made an important point that there should be some sort of safety. Or did I put that in that video? Well, and maybe I wrote it somewhere on Twitter. I don't know. Anyways, there should be some sort of important safety. The idea for any movie to come out is to make sure that you put butts in seats. But instead, it seems to be this weird doubling down on the whole concept of, well, putting butts in seats to watch your movie. Years ago, we used to have movies which really sucked. I'll give you a couple of cases in point. Years ago, back in the 80s, catching my back to the 80s, boys and girls, there was a movie. There was a movie called Megaforce. It, the trailers looked great. The movie was awful. And you know what happened? They just said, they would send the stars out, and if I remember, Barry Bostock was in it, and Persis Kambata. Persis Kambata, if you don't know who she is, she played Lieutenant Alia in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. She later went on to play the one terrorist chick in the movie Nighthawks, starring Rutger Hauer. If you haven't seen Nighthawks, watch it. Great film. Sylvester Stallone, Rutger Hauer, Billy D. Williams. I mean, it's fantastic. That being said, with Megaforce, it was a flop. Barry Bostwick didn't go to, he didn't go trash people who didn't like it. But I remember the stuff that led up to the movie. It was a simple matter of him saying, hey, I'm promoting a film. It's going to be fun. It's going to be action. And yeah. That was it. That was it. That's all he had to do. Promote the film. He didn't say anything else. He just promoted the film. Again, the movie sucked. That's what you're going to get. The next movie is Trading Places. I'm sorry, not Trading Places. Oh, God. How could I mess this up? You'll see why I messed this up. Not Trading Places. The next movie was Best Defense. The story behind Best Defense was it was a sort of, I think it was like a sort of, I don't know, it was actually two separate movies technically. It had starred Dudley Moore and Sigourney Weaver. Coincidentally, Dudley Moore is actually buried in New Jersey. Fun fact. But test audience saw it and they thought, we need something to get people in. Well, at the time, who was one of the hottest stars in the 80s? Well, guess what? It was Eddie Murphy. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Best Defense, Eddie Murphy has maybe 15 minutes of time in the whole movie. The rest of the movie just wasn't that great. And even then, when Eddie Murphy went on after he was done with Saturday Night Live and he came back to host, and he pointed out Best Defense, and he said, "Yeah, that movie sucked," and that was it. He got a laugh out of it, and he moved on. He got paid. Dudley Moore got paid. Sigourney Weaver got paid. I think Sigourney. I'll have to check, or y'all can check. Anyways, they got paid, and they moved on. And this was a common occurrence throughout my entire life. I remember when I would watch Merv Griffin as a kid, or Johnny Carson. Again, you had the stars there promoting the movie. Even though the movie sucked, they just promoted it as best they can, and then once it was over, they just kind of moved on. They didn't have to say anything. These days, we have a group of people who refuse to accept the fact that they're in something crappy. Yeah. And this leads me to Rachel Ziegler. One second. Medication. Anyways, this leads me to Rachel Ziegler and other people in Hollywood that seem to love to. I'm sorry, I was looking for a cup. Got some soda here. And what they love to do is basically trash the audience and trash potential audience goers. Okay, you're gonna. I mentioned it before, along with the whole idea of Star Trek Discovery, and I don't even want to say the guy's name, but he basically sabotaged the whole movie before anything got off the ground, and people were really really turned off. I mean, you don't have to keep doing a allegory about the candidate or political person you hate. I mean, if you're gonna do it, at least do both sides. But guys like that can't. And with other movies that nobody was like, remember Charlie's Angels. This movie is not for you, so men aren't going to see it. Why aren't men seeing our movie? Because you told us not to watch because it wasn't for us. Sort of like with what's her name saying, "What comics? If you don't like my comic, don't buy it." Well, nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying this new Green Lantern, Alan Scott Green Lantern, where he's being blackmailed into sex by J. Edgar Hoover. I mean, you could literally do something interesting with that character, but making the entire focus his sexuality? I mean, it could be done pretty much with just a regular character without it. But then the guy is boo hooing that nobody wants to buy his crap. You know, I've seen plenty of stories featuring gay and lesbian characters, and they've all been well written. And you could like say, I see where that person's coming from. I see where that man was coming from. I see where that woman's coming from. Hell, I see where that trans person is coming from in this movie or TV series. But the fact of the matter is, they love to self sabotage. And I said it before, I'll say it again. These people write for themselves. They sit and they say, oh, well, let me write this for all the people I go to the parties with. But they're not writing for the audience. And when you forget that's your primary source, that's when things begin to fail. Again, Rachel Ziegler with her Snow White deal, calling the prince who wants to be with her a stalker. And it's like, okay, you didn't like the movie in the first place, yet you took the job. I would have just passed on it and done something else. So she sabotaged this movie before it's even released. And now, and now I believe what the Daily Wire's doing it, and they got Brett Cooper playing Snow White. And I saw it at first glance. Believe it or not, I wasn't paying that much attention when I saw like a thumbnail or a picture or something. I thought, I swear, I thought she was Mia Sarah, and Mia Sarah is pretty. Coincidentally, she's the forgotten Harley Quinn. I did a video on that. You could check my videos. You could see that. But the fact that she's out there promoting this film, not trashing the concept, but promoting it, and that's what they need to remember. Rachel Ziegler forgot that. She forgot that. She hated the movie, the original version. She hates the concept, and yet she's playing this role. And even in, she's not cast well to be Snow White. I'm sorry, especially the way they have her done. And let's not forget these seven magical beings, which now they have to turn into dwarves because this is what's going on. And then even if the movie fails, because I guarantee you the movie is written horribly. I mean horribly. I guarantee you that. They'll say, oh, it's white supremacy. They don't want to see a POC doing blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? I'm one of those POCs and I don't want to see it because this woman sabotages freaking story for me. And I'm tired of it. I think we're all tired of it. So, I just thought I'd put that out there. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment, you know what to do. And until then, I'm Filter, and I'm out.